So a lot has happened since the last episode of The Whistle. Let's start with Kyrie Irving coming to the Mavericks. Are you kidding me? I could not be more excited for this trade and for the Mavs' future this season. Holy smokes, is it going to be entertaining? Now, does it work? It's to be seen. I think the Mavs, in their first game with Kyrie, it popped. It was really exciting because they were moving the ball. They weren't Kyrie-centric like they are Luka-centric. Now, is this a gripe against Luka? Absolutely not. Luka's the best player in the league. You can fight me on that. But Luka definitely is the best player in the league, but we were definitely offensively reliant on him. And when you bring in a guy like Kyrie, you got pressure taken off. So with Luka coming back, hopefully we can move the ball around. Josh Green has stepped up. Reggie Bullock is finally getting back into form. He's always a second half of the season type of guy. Christian Wood's here to stay after he survived the trade deadline. All right, Tim Hardaway is going to put up shots. You just got to hope he makes it. He's probably not. But I think with Kyrie, this team absolutely can win a championship. But of course, that's not the only story in the West that we have to cover. So let's set the story real quick, right? I was chilling, watching the Mavs beat the Clippers, right? And I'm chilling. I'm excited for the Kyrie era to start. Man, it was exciting to watch him play. And I go to bed. I'm like, the Mavs might have the best potential in the West. Now, obviously, the Nuggets are really good, and the Grizzlies, and you can't forget about the Kings. But I was going to sleep, and I was like, are those really the only three teams I have to worry about? The Warriors aren't playing that good right now. So I was like, okay, I can live with this. I like this. And then I'm chilling on Twitter, and then boom, notification drops. Kevin Durant to the Suns. My instant reaction, you got to be kidding me, man. You got to be kidding me. This is absolutely one of the worst things that could have happened to the Mavs. Now look, Suns, Mavericks, Western Conference Finals should be interesting. I don't think you can just book those two teams. Those teams have giant question marks now. The Suns traded away great wing defenders, right? Jay Crowder, who wasn't playing for them already, but was still a great piece. Mikal Bridges was one of their best defenders, almost should have won Defensive Player of the Year last year. And then a couple of picks to get Kevin Durant. Look, do I think this was a good trade for them? Absolutely. They gave up a lot, but they're going all in this year, especially with the 38-year-old Chris Paul. It was really interesting to see him kind of stay, but I guess why would Brooklyn want him, especially since they're fully embracing that rebuild mode. But now the West has gotten absolutely crazy. I don't think Ja Morant is fine in the West. I think it's going to be an absolutely exciting playoffs. And now the teeter, right, of both who was the best conference, East or West, the West now has something to say. It was easily the East with Boston, Philly, and the Bucks. But now you got the Suns that are dangerous. The Mavs could definitely be dangerous. Nuggets and Grizzlies are already dangerous. It should be really exciting to see how that shakes up. But also, we got a big thing happening this weekend, the Super Bowl. And I wanted to get that trade off because that was some things we missed during Super Bowl week. But if you stay this long, you want to hear my Super Bowl picks, and I'll give them to you. And I'm scared. I'm really scared. As a Cowboys fan myself, look, I'm a Cowboys homer. I know it. But I'm rooting for the Chiefs, absolutely. But I think the Eagles are actually going to take this one. And the reason why is because look, my philosophy this playoffs was don't bet against Patrick Mahomes. Don't bet against Patrick Mahomes. And it worked out so far. He's in the Super Bowl. And he's still my predicted Super Bowl winner. But the Eagles probably was the worst matchup for them to face. Because look, if you look at it like this, right? Who's the best quarterback out of the two? Mahomes. Who's the best running back? Well, that might be the Eagles. Who is the better O-line? Well, that might be the Eagles. Who is the better weapons? Well, that might be the Eagles. If you stop Travis Kelce, the Chiefs' wide receiver core is average. Now, that doesn't mean they can't ball out, but that means Patrick Mahomes kind of has to ball out. All right. Who has the better defensive line? Oh, well, that's the Eagles. Who is the better secondary? Well, that's probably the Eagles. Who is the better linebacking core? That's probably the Eagles. Eagles are just better in every category. And you're like, well, the 49ers were really good, but they lost. Well, first off, the 49ers shouldn't even come into this conversation. The Eagles, people saying that the Eagles aren't going to win because of Jalen Hurts are absolutely don't know what they're talking about. Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback. He's probably a top 10 quarterback, right? And his shoulders hurt, not his legs. Look, I don't even think Jalen Hurts surpasses 250 passing yards in this game because he doesn't have to. Now, do I think if he throws for less than 200 yards, does he have to run a little bit? I think he has to have over 60 yards rushing if he throws for less than 200 yards for them to win. Because it's all about momentum for Philly's deep offense. If they can continually put long drive after long drive together, the Chiefs easily don't stand a chance. And I've heard, I think it was Colin Cowherd said that the Chiefs have to play with the lead, and they absolutely do. If the Eagles get up by even 10 points, it might be a steep, steep hill for the Chiefs to climb. And I think that the Chiefs can win this game, but they're definitely the underdog. And the points only being at 1.5 in favor of the Eagles is absolutely mind-blowing. I think this Eagles win by a touchdown. Who in terms of my MVP, I would have to go someone on the defense. I like Jalen Hurts, but he's not going to put the stats up unless he gets a couple of rushing touchdowns, like a QB sneak. I could definitely see that happening. If he has 2 rushing touchdowns, he'll get the MVP. But I want to say it might be someone on the defense, like Hassan Reddick, or maybe even a Brandon Graham. It should be really interesting to see who gets that MVP. If the Chiefs win it, it's going to be Mahomes. I don't see it being anybody other than Mahomes. The only person that comes to mind would be a Travis Kelce or a Chris Jones. So I'm really interested to see how that MVP thing comes up. But in terms of the other categories of debate, I guess, if you want to call it that, I think in terms of the coin toss is going to be tails. Actually, no, it's going to be heads. The coin toss of the 2023 NFL Super. What am I doing? Now to get into the little things of the Super Bowl, they'll find little nonchalant betting lines like the coin toss and all that. The coin toss, I'm sticking with heads. I betted this correctly last year. It's going to be heads. All right. Next thing, who wins the toss? I guess that's a betting line, right? I'm just going to go with no. First touchdown scorer. I think the first touchdown scorer is going to be Miles Sanders. Actually, yes, I like Miles Sanders on a decent 10-yard run maybe. Yeah, I like Miles Sanders being the first touchdown scorer of Super Bowl 57. Finally, I already have my Super Bowl winner being the Philadelphia Eagles. Super Bowl MVP being, we'll go with Jalen Hurts. The Gatorade flavor for this year's Super Bowl, I'm going to stick with blue. Blue's going to win it. I don't know what the odds are. The odds are here. I'm really excited to see. That was always fun. I betted blue last year, and it was blue. The Eagles are wearing their green uniforms, though, so I got to wonder what would look good. I think orange could be sneaky, but I'm sticking with blue. It's a neutral color. No teams really has blue in their colors, so I'm going to go with blue. Rihanna's first song is going to be Umbrella. And always, always, always take the over in the national anthem. Always. Anyways, guys, this has been a quick edition of The Whistle. Didn't want to waste too much of your time, just quick reactions. Hopefully this week I'll have some guests to bring on to discuss basketball, Super Bowl reaction, and just looking forward to some more sports. Make sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcast to be notified when new episodes come out, because I'm not necessarily going to set a schedule for The Whistle because I feel like it's more of a reactionary thing, right? If a big trade happens in the NFL, I want to cover it that day, and I'll post it the next day. I'm not going to post it, wait till that Monday if it happens. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what your takes are. What do you think? Who's going to win the Super Bowl? Let me know what you think about the Kyrie to Mavs trade and the KD to the Suns. Right? This might have been one of the craziest weeks in sports. Absolutely. Craziest 2 weeks. And I'll talk about that soon. So anyways, guys, I'll see you guys in the next one. God bless.